So you want to get out of your comfort zone. Great. Now let's also convince your brain that this is a good idea. In this video, we will talk about how to change the way you think about the comfort zone, 3 fears that keep you in it, and 2 skills you should focus on to get out. My name is Elle, and you're watching InteroQuote, transforming your life one quote at a time. Let's begin with a quote by Tony Robbins. All growth starts at the end of your comfort zone. The main thing to take away here is that there are good things outside your comfort zone, and this is where you should start your journey. First of all, in order to motivate yourself to go out of your comfort zone, you need to reframe your thoughts about it. Motivation is the key to human behavior, and people are motivated by 2 things: avoiding pain and gaining pleasure. Staying in your comfort zone has obvious positive aspects. You feel safe, calm, in control, so the pleasure is high. Going out of your comfort zone has obvious negative aspects. It's risky, challenging, scary, stressful, so the pain is high. If you leave it at that, you could easily ask, who would ever want to leave their comfort zone? It wouldn't make any sense. But that is only because you are not looking at the situation from both perspectives. Your comfort zone also has negative aspects: boredom, stagnation, and it is also risky, which is something we often forget. The risk of not taking risks. Going out of your comfort zone also has positive aspects: building resilience, confidence, fulfilling your potential, growth. So the key here is to do 3 things. Number 1, be aware of the pain of staying in your comfort zone, effectively making it more uncomfortable to stay in. Number 2, increase the pleasure of going out of it by setting attractive goals that push your limits and help you grow. Number 3, decrease the pain of going out of it. And this is what we will discuss next. What you need to do is realize what type of fear keeps you in your comfort zone. The following are 3 fears you should consider. Let's start with the 2 basic ones and save the sneaky one for last. Number 1, fear of change. It is natural to feel scared when presented with the uncertainty that comes with change. Both positive and negative change requires adjustment. It's the new thing that you're not familiar with, the new territory that you've never traversed. In order to deal with change, you need to understand that it is a part of life. It will come whether you want it or not. Resisting it is what makes it 10 times harder. Initiating it is what makes it 10 times easier. Embrace it. Gather any information that will bring you a sense of certainty. Remind yourself of past changes that you managed successfully. Number 2, fear of failure. You're only afraid of failure because of what you believe about it. If you think that failure is something you should be ashamed of, it is far more likely that you will fear it and believe it's hard to overcome. Instead, try thinking about it this way. It happens to everyone. It is part of the plan. It's a step towards success. It's a way to learn. It will make for a great story. Don't let your fear of failure stop you from even attempting to make your dreams come true. And let go of your inner perfectionist. Perfect is unattainable. Don't let it be an excuse that keeps you from starting down a new path just because you cannot guarantee the result will be perfect. Remember that you can either have excuses or you can have results. And now for the sneaky one. Number 3, fear of success. This doesn't mean that you're afraid of success itself, but of what it can potentially bring with it. Success has a price you may not be willing to pay. How will other people react to it? Will they have more expectations from you? Will they become more antagonistic? Will they think you deserve it? Do you think you deserve it? There are 3 things to tackle here. Number 1, accept the responsibility that comes with success, because that is how you take control of your life. Number 2, overcome the imposter syndrome that may bubble up in you by acknowledging that success is not easy. You work for it and you deserve it. And number 3, realize the hard truth that most people will have nothing to say about your success because most people are self-centered and simply don't care. The next thing to do is change the way you react to being uncomfortable. And you can do this by focusing on 2 skills: self-confidence and stress management. So the goal here is to increase your confidence and decrease your stress. Luckily, those two skills are connected and inversely proportional. The higher your confidence, the lower your stress, and vice versa. Let's start with self-confidence. Before you focus on improving your self-confidence itself, you need to take 2 steps back and look at 2 prerequisites. Number 1, getting to know yourself, and number 2, accepting and loving yourself as you are. So, in order to start working on your self-confidence, you should first work on self-awareness and self-esteem. Now, to increase your confidence itself, you need 2 things: displaying courage and overcoming fear, especially the 3 fears we already talked about. Self-confidence and the comfort zone are in a feedback loop. The more confident you are, the more likely you are to go out of your comfort zone, and the more you go out of your comfort zone, the more confident you become. Take advantage of that loop by taking the first step towards the right direction. And the right direction is the one that doesn't just lead out of your comfort zone, but also builds on your strengths. This is where self-awareness comes into play. Do you know your strengths? Get to know them and build on them if you want a better chance at success. You may ask, but how am I supposed to take that first step when I have low self-confidence and my stress goes through the roof? This is where stress management can help. Remember that stress is on a scale. Up to a certain point, what you're experiencing is eustress. This is the positive stress that energizes and motivates you. Past that point, it turns to distress, the negative stress that can be overwhelming. The difference here is whether the stress feels manageable or not, and this is determined by your level of self-confidence. The moment you tell yourself, I can't handle this, you are in distress territory, because your confidence is not high enough to deal with the challenge. The obvious thing to do here is to work on your confidence, like we've already discussed, so that it takes more and more of a challenge for you to get into distress mode. There is a way, though, to move a bit past the level that your confidence allows, and that is by tricking your brain into thinking you're in eustress mode. Your brain cannot really tell the difference between anxiety and excitement. Both cause a stress response, but it is up to you to decide whether you will think of it as positive or negative. So find your optimal level of pressure, the level that leads you gently and gradually out of your comfort zone, but not all the way into your panic zone. Take the first step while telling yourself that you're not stressed, but excited. At first it will be uncomfortable, but that is how you know it's working. That is how you know you've made it out of your comfort zone.